Hello, good morning. I'm back again for another short video. My name's Woody. In case you don't know me, I was diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer in 2021, and I do these videos to talk about my experience and how I cope with it, and share this and hopefully help people to maybe think things differently, maybe deal with it in a different way. I'm in this lovely place again today where I was yesterday. I've got a week off, and I sat down and I just thought what I wanted to share something about something that's been playing on my mind a lot, and that's the subject of fear. And I think cancer and fear walk hand in hand a lot. And I remember when I was diagnosed almost 2 years ago, how scared I was, and the fear level was so high. And now people say to me, how do you feel about it, and are you scared? And I am scared, yes. Yeah, I am. I'm not going to stand here and be lying to anyone. Of course I'm scared, but I don't let that fear rule my life anymore. And it stopped a long time ago. And the reason why is because I understand what fear is. I understand where it comes from, and perhaps this may help someone that's struggling with it. Because when you get cancer and you get this bombardment of fear, it's an emotion, and it comes from, quite simply, a group of thoughts that you're having. It's your thinking, and what you're doing when you're in fear is you're experiencing your thoughts. Simple as that. You're experiencing your thoughts. So if someone says, does cancer give you fear? Then actually the answer is no, it doesn't. It doesn't. You give yourself fear, because cancer can be maybe a contributing factor, but it doesn't give you fear. And the same with anything else in life. Whatever you're frightened of, you might have phobias and fears. Every single one of those phobias and fears comes from a thought. So you might be, for instance, scared of spiders. Okay. You may have no reason to be scared of spiders. You may never even had a problem with a spider, but in your mind you're scared of spiders. And that is because the way you think about spiders. If you change the way you think about spiders, the way you deal with them changes. The way you feel about them changes. Your thoughts and feelings and behaviours. It's this kind of roundabout. Thoughts, feeling, behaviour. You have to have all three of them to exist as a human being. It's like a three-legged stool. If you took one of the legs away, you'd collapse. Okay? So thoughts, feelings and behaviour are what drive our fear, the fear patterns that we have. And if you've ever been frightened of something, you can only be frightened of it if you're thinking about it. So sometimes I wake up at night, or at certain times of the day, where I suddenly feel very scared. My future is terrifying. And something's going on. Either I'm subconsciously or consciously thinking about this situation I'm in. And the more you do it, the more you think about it, the worse it gets, and the easier it is to become scared. And your brain becomes hardwired to becoming scared. And every little thing that happens in your body, everything you see, everything you digest and you look at, you observe, and you take in, it's like your diet of fear. The more you read about stuff, sometimes the worse you become. And if you've got this ongoing all the time, this fear of cancer, the fear of scans, the fear of injections, the fear of results, it eventually starts taking over your life if you're not careful. So how can you stop it? How do you deal with it? Well, it's not easy, but the process starts something like when you're suddenly catching that thought about how scared you are. You'll get the thought, it'll become a feeling. At that point, you have to change the way you think about it. You have to recognize your thoughts and change them. And it's not easy, but with a bit of practice, catch yourself thinking about something and turn it round. It's called reframing. You reframe a situation. That's how people deal with events in their life, by reframing them. So when you get into a situation, it's like you take a picture of that in your mind, but you put a different frame around it, and it has a different meaning, and it has different behaviours attached to it. And the fear factor is exactly the same. We want to try and change the thought process. It's like saying, instead of I can't do something, you change it to I can do something. Everything you can't do, change to I can do, and you become a different person overnight. You become, it's amazing how just taking a T off of that sentence, I can't, to I can reinvent you and change your life. And in ways, when we're dealing with fear, we have to do the same process. We have to change and swap around words and change the way we're dealing with it. So when I first got diagnosed, especially, I think this is especially true for people that have just been diagnosed. You're probably watching this and you're terrified, like everyone is, okay? So the first thing I thought was, well, that's it, my life's over. And you remember this word thought comes in all the time. I thought my life was over. I thought I'd be in pain all the time. I thought I would never be able to work again. I thought I would never see my children grow up. I thought. But actually, most of the things that we think about, and this is a true fact, almost everything that we dread through our thinking, almost all of it doesn't come true. It's like you can experience it and you have a life of terrible agony, but it hasn't happened. You've just thought it, but by thinking about it, you've experienced it. And that's how powerful thoughts are, and that's how powerful fear is, this emotion that's linked with the thinking that changes your behaviours, and your behaviours then lead your life. And when you've got cancer or some other illness or some other problem, it could be anything really. It could be divorce, it could be moving house, it could be any of these these life's big events that create fear and panic, stress. Almost all of it's led by thinking. And when you realise that, your world changes. It really does. I mean, I used to teach this because I knew about it, but I didn't actually experience it myself until now. And now I'm in this situation, stage 4 cancer. I've got scans coming up I've got the results of my scans coming up in a few weeks' time. Okay, they were taken 3 weeks ago. I've had 5 weeks by the time I get the scan results. And I turned the fears off. I turned the thoughts off. I can't do anything about these results. So let's stop thinking about them. Let's change the program. Because it is true, we play this invisible movie in our minds all the time, and all we have to do is change the movie. That's how the brain works. It works by inventing, imagination, all these things, and they become our thoughts. And let's say you're scared about something, that just builds and builds and builds until it becomes panic and anxiety, unless you stop it. And you stop it by changing the thoughts. Change the thoughts, change the way you think about things, and the things that you think about change. That's a very nice expression I heard. So yeah, this is something that perhaps will help. Hopefully someone watching this may think, do you know what, I've been thinking too much about this particular thing, and I now need to change the way I think about something. Try and switch it to a positive way as much as you can. It does work. It really works. You just got to trust yourself. You're hardwired to be negative. This is the human condition. When we're ill, we're hardwired to be negative anyway. And when we're ill, it makes it worse. We get diagnosed with something, we're hardwired to think the worst. The word cancer brings out that awful feeling. Now I think of cancer in a way of thinking, well, sometimes it's given me opportunities. It's given me opportunities to see the world differently, see my children differently, experience life in a better way. Just by thinking. So anyway, till next time, hope that resonates with somebody, hope it helps somebody out there. Let me know. Just leave me a comment, let me know how you think about that, and maybe it's worked for you. You might be able to give me an example, or tell us, share your own feelings about this. Okay, cheers, bye bye.